incredibly true about him. What was maybe missing from that bio is the level of competitive intensity that you see. It's something I've rarely seen in a college player, never seen him rattled. Marcus, you also watched Hurts a lot for years in college. Based on your extensive knowledge of his game, what are your expectations?
I expect them to make some plays and open some people's eyes, as in the vein of your Philly green that you got on today, Laura Rutledge. I did not know that you would secretly give Jalen Hurts a shout-out.
Dan Orlovsky made me. Just kidding.
But yeah, he has some things. He has some things to his game, and I'm sure Doug Peterson and the coaching staff in Philly has seen some of those things. Let's take it to the tape here. We all remember 2017 national championship. Him using his legs, that athleticism to get out. And actually, this was the go-ahead touchdown. But the guy on the other side was Deshaun Watson, who made a drive coming back. Here you see the progression from Lincoln Riley. Go and be around good coaches. Being able to throw the ball with anticipation, which was one of the things he didn't do well. And then here in the Big 12 championship, outside of the pocket, very similar to the touchdown that he threw when he came in the game for Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts has some things and some tools that you can work with. And if you follow his career since about 2016, you can see the progression at the quarterback spot as far as throwing the ball with anticipation. I remember sitting on the sideline so many times when he was at Alabama, and the number one thing that my guy Greg McElroy would say when I would ask him about it is, Marcus, the only issue with Jalen is he waits for people to get wide open. And that's not reality when you're playing against really good teams in college and in the NFL. So I want to see what his anticipation is like and if he's picked up that level of his game.
Hey, man, I know I saw Mina today. She was tweeting with people that you shouldn't call gifts things that sound like peanut butter. But you know one of my favorite gifts that they always put up is when Jon Snow is standing at the battle of the you-know-whats, and he takes the sleeve off his sword, and he does this, and then the herd of people is coming toward him, and all of them on horses, right? And you know Jon Snow is just finna get smashed, except for he's Jon Snow, and he can't really die, and he comes back to life, and then all this other stuff happens. But anyway, all I'm saying is that's how I feel about Jalen Hurts right now. And when I'm thinking about him going up to play against the New Orleans Saints, I think about one of my favorite movies, and that movie is Rocky IV. And I remember how happy I was the first time it came on. I was like, live in, and you know, James Brown is singing, Apollo Creed's dancing, he's pointing at Ivan Drago, and Ivan Drago was just like sweating and mean as hell. And then he didn't just beat Apollo, he killed him. He killed Apollo Creed, and after he killed him, he said, if he dies, he dies. And then Rock Lips, I'm just going on a tangent here, but that's how I feel about Jalen Hurts right now. And so we look at Jalen Hurts, he's in a win-win situation. I don't expect him to do well. I know the Philadelphia Eagles and Doug Peterson, they want to go back to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is their guy. Carson Wentz is their dude. He's got stuff deposited in their emotional bank account. He got real money deposited in their bank accounts. They need him to play. And so I think if Jalen Hurts goes out and he does well and he shows well, he gives himself an opportunity to start again next week. Because Doug Peterson said this was a decision for the week. But the way I see it, they want to go back to Carson Wentz. They don't expect much from Jalen Hurts. He's playing with house money. Kid, go out there and have fun. Use your legs, use your arms, and play ball and be who you've always been. Because if it don't work, you ain't no worse off than you were 2 weeks ago.
You guys might have noticed over the last 2 minutes, the lights in my room were flickering, and at one point I looked like a ghost. That, I have to imagine, is how Jalen Hurts looked when he looked at the schedule and saw he was playing the Saints this week, like just completely terrified. The thing is, no one should have expectations out of Jalen Hurts this week. The Saints have destroyed Matt Ryan twice. The odds are stacked against him. In my mind, all of the pressure this week is on Doug Peterson. It's his job, frankly, that's on the line because he's going to look across the field and he's going to see a head coach in Sean Payton who has made it work with Taysom Hill, his dual threat quarterback, who has been creative, right, with what he's done with him. I want to see an Eagles offense that has a creative rushing attack, that has some built-in keepers for Hurts, who is obviously an excellent runner. And isn't like the stale offense we've seen over the first few weeks of the season. In my mind, that's all on Doug's shoulders because he's fighting for his job at this point.
I'm turning on my phone flashlight trying to light Mina from here because I don't know what's going on over there in Mina's home studio. We got to get some light out there. Anyway, let's talk about the Saints side of this thing because, Ryan, feels like Drew Brees is so close to coming back. In fact, he's probably telling Sean Payton, like, I want to start this game this week. This seems like the last chance for Taysom Hill to really audition and show that he's a successor for Brees. What does he have to show you to prove that?
He can't show me nothing. I'm going to be honest, man. Listen, guys, I want to be that guy that's like, look, you know, I see it. It's coming.
I love this dude.
Hey, he can't show me. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know.
I don't know
5 teams. I don't know 5 teams that could watch the film of the last 3 games and say, I want Taysom Hill over my guy. You know, like, you might take him in New England. You might take him if you're the Jets. But I don't know a lot of other teams. Like, I truly do not. And people are going to talk about, you know, we had the call today, and Greg is like, but he's completing this amount of passes and 15 to 20 yards. He's 75%. Well, guess what? He threw a ball to Oliver. Oliver dropped it. He threw a ball to A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell dropped it. He threw a ball to Ricardo Allen. He dropped it. He fumbled in the red zone early in the game. He fumbled in the 4-minute drill, A.J. Terrell. And so, like, all of these things happen, and we ignore them because we can look at numbers and see a certain thing. Like, dude is a good football player. He truly is. He's athletic, and he's strong, and he's the type of person you want on your team because he's an all-shucks coach. I'll do whatever you ask me.
Hey.
But he ain't no quarterback. He ain't going to lead you to no Super Bowl.
Let me just
and
show
that's
you.
how I feel.
Ryan, but I'm just showing you the comparison right here. I mean, the numbers kind of don't lie, guys. I know I'm stirring the pot a little bit. Marcus, why you got a paper in front of your face?
Because I'm not.
Drew Brees can't throw the ball deep neither.
Right, then what's the difference?
I'm not about to allow y'all to take
Drew's
this moment
deadly
from Ryan
accurate
Clark.
underneath.
I want Ryan Clark to have this moment. I'm not taking. I don't have it. I don't have a damn thing to say. RC, you take the moment, man. You take the moment, RC.
I don't want to talk no more, Marcus. Because every time.
Ryan, don't you live in
alive,
Louisiana? Like, I'm scared for you, man. The way you're talking about Taysom.
Hey, listen. Hey, you don't have to be scared
Can't be
for me. They don't like me at LSU or New Orleans right now. I ain't tripping. Y'all put me on here so I can talk about Taysom because y'all know that he is lovable and he's likable and he's doing an okay job. But when you watch the film, like Keyshawn Johnson, when you really Keyshawn Johnson the film, you realize that he's just okay. And that's all right. It's all right for him to be okay. But in being okay, he can't go to the Super Bowl. Like, you can't win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
It's okay.
I think there is a wide gap between okay and can't play quarterback in the NFL, though, Ryan. I think he has shown that he can play quarterback. I don't think he's shown that he's a good quarterback. I agree with you, because when I went back and watched that Falcons game, I saw those missed interceptions. I saw him missing underneath throws, and I saw the fumbles, which should, by the way, be the biggest concern, because if he's fumbling, that drops the floor. But you're right. He's just okay so far.
All right, next up, Ryan, you're going to have to talk because we're talking about one of your favorite all-time teams. We're getting to the Steelers. Let's go on NFL Live. They're 11-1, and the Bills are 2 games behind. So why do some people here think the black and